Hey everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. In today's video, I'm really excited to share with you guys an up-and-coming maker in the custom knife world. So we're going to take a look at this incredible piece from Brad Richmond of Richmond Knives. And he is essentially a newer knife maker. Has a really cool story that I'll share with you guys in a little bit. We'll go through specs a little bit again on custom knives. It might differ from knife to knife. You will not be able to order a duplicate of this knife, but I'll give you kind of a basic idea of what we're looking at. Overall impressions, and then we'll jump into the details and I will give you some background on Brad. So here's the certificate of authenticity. Model number is a prototype. We'll talk about that in a bit. CPM 154, jig titanium frame lock. And yeah, that's the date that it was completed, so not too long ago. But I was turned on to his work by a fellow collector on Instagram. Had nothing but good things to say. His name is Chris. And then at Blade Show, actually, Chris brought two of his knives. I handled them. Really impressed by the quality. And so when I knew that this knife was going up, I sat there and refreshed my phone for probably, I don't know, 10-15 minutes waiting for it to drop, and boom, I snapped it up. Luckily, fighting about 10 other guys to get this piece at least. But anyways, so a titanium frame lock flipper, all handmade, no smart tech. And yeah, let's jump into the specs real quick. Again, it's going to differ from knife to knife since they all essentially are one-offs. So blade length, right around 3.5 inches, handle length of about 4.7. The thickness in the pocket is just about 0.57 inches. Again, CPM 154 blade steel, 6AL 4V handles, of course. And it does weigh in at 6.34 ounces, so definitely a full weight custom knife here. But yeah, alright, so that's it for the specs. Overall impressions, Brad is definitely someone you're going to want to keep your eye on. The fit, the finish, the quality, the uniqueness of his designs, in terms of the finish work, everything is absolutely a one-off. He's definitely going to blow up. If you can get one of his pieces, I think there are some at dealers right now, absolutely do it. He's going to blow up. People are definitely going to be after his work. So, yeah, this is my first one. I hope it's not my last one. But his sales process does make it a bit difficult. So let's talk about that real quick. This is something that Brad actually wanted me to address as I talked to him before doing this video. Brad's a part-time maker, and he has a full-time job. He's got a family, he's got a little girl, so his time is quite restricted. He only gets an hour here, 30 minutes there to work on the knives. As such, he can only do a very limited supply of knives. In terms of what's out there in the wild right now, there might only be 10 knives in the hands of collectors at this point, because that's all that he's essentially put out there, made thus far. So he doesn't have books. Blowing up his email will not get you a knife. He makes them and then he puts them up for sale. Either it's like a flash sale where if you're the first one to say that you'll take it on Instagram, great, it's yours. He has done a couple auctions. He might do a lottery coming up here as well, but that is currently the only way to get a knife from him. And he will not put you on books. It doesn't really matter how much money you throw at him. He makes what he likes. He puts it up for sale. If you like it too and you're lucky enough to grab it, then great, he's happy to sell it to you. So he wanted me to put that out there. Again, there's going to be a lot of interest in his work, and he can only do so much right now. So anyways, let's look at this in a little bit greater detail, and we'll talk about Brad a little bit. So acid stone washed with some satin flats here. Really nice maker's mark. That's the only mark on the knife. Some beautiful jimping up top. You can see it slightly ramped. Nice, fine, very effective without being sharp. Really nice jimping on this one. The blade is a drop point with a recurve. but the grinds look, to my eye, they are 100% symmetric, and the flipping action is really nice in this one. There is some jimping on the flipper tab as well. Again, very well done. Flips with authority. Really smooth. So, really impressive action, really happy with it. The really interesting thing about Brad is that he has been making knives for about 5 years. About 4 or 5 years ago he started making knives. He's always been kind of an outdoor guy, grew up, with various fixed blades, bought a couple production pieces and decided he wanted to give it a try. So about 4 to 5 years ago he made his first fixed blade. And about 2 to 3 years ago, he made his first folder. He wanted to tackle that as kind of a project. And he's actually never handled another custom maker's work up until the last month or two. So he didn't actually know if his knives were of any quality. He was making them in his garage at home, just a single car garage, kind of filled to the brim with different tools and so forth. And it got to that point that I'm sure many of us get to. His wife asked him if he's ever going to sell anything, because he was just making pieces and either keeping them or giving them away. And he wasn't sure if anyone was going to buy his knives. So with some trepidation, he decided to start an Instagram page and put a couple of them up for sale. And if you go to his Instagram page, which I'll link in the description box below, his very first post, that knife, is absolutely exceptional. No doubt it's of the same quality and fit and finish that this one is, but the execution and the materials and the design, absolutely outstanding. So he's never handled anyone's work, didn't know if his work was going to be any good. So he was relieved to hear that, that I like it and that those who have purchased his work have been very, very happy with it. So that was quite interesting. The few auctions that he's done up to this point, the knives have all gone for just about $2,000. So definitely some appreciation, and once they get them in hand, they're even happier. His work is better than others whose knives go for at least double in auctions. So, yeah. All right. This particular one has some nice orange peel here on the flats. The chamfers have the the belt or satin finish. It's bronze with hints of purple in this one, so a nice orange peel. Of course, there is the jig pattern here in the titanium. Very nice. Here's the lock side. Jig pattern comes up onto the pocket clip, and then you can see the milled line in here transitions through the pocket clip as well. Lockup is just about, maybe 40% there. Completely rock solid. Really, really nice cutouts here to disengage. Centering is perfect, of course. And then there are some nice custom back spacers here on the knife. The pocket clip is perfectly functional as well. Rides to about there, essentially, where that line is, but in and out of the pocket, no problems at all. Now, I've already had questions here on the cross on the pocket clip. Of course, guys are wondering why he did that and if that's something that could be removed. And I talked to him a little bit about this and his reason for doing the cross on the pocket clip. Obviously, he's a Christian, but it goes a little bit deeper than that. He puts this here as a reminder to stay humble and to give thanks for his ability to work and to get out of bed every day. And he doesn't really want ego to take part in his knife making. He just wants to make what he likes, and hopefully others will like it as well. So for those of you wondering, this will be on all his knives. This is not something he will take off. So if you're still interested, great. Go go for it. You can, if you're lucky enough to grab one, you can. If this turns you off and you don't want one of his knives, that's okay too, because there will be lots of people who will still want to buy them. If I could, I would take every knife he's made thus far. So, all right, let's see. Anything else that we want to talk about? Oh, he does use caged stainless steel bearings right now, and he has a stainless steel detent ball. However, he does do the flat face detent balls, so he flattens them and then he polishes them, and that's really what's giving it that wonderful explosive action and really nice and smooth. He is experimenting with ceramics, ceramic detent and ceramic bearings at the moment, but up to now everything has been done with stainless, and no complaints from me on it. All right. So he doesn't go to any shows yet. Again, really busy with work and the family. And the Instagram page is the only page that he has currently. So if you want to follow him there, just click on the link below. And if you guys don't have the Instagram app, you can still visit the Instagram pages on just your standard web browser, and kind of stay up to date with his work that way, just favoriting the page and going back to visit it as you have time and so forth. So, yeah. Again, just a really cool maker, really nice guy. He's absolutely going to take off. There's no hype. His work is exceptional. So I look forward to his future builds, to seeing what other kind of creative ideas he comes up with. And his interest is to continue to improve. Where he goes from here, I really couldn't tell you. I mean, this piece is, again, perfect. So no lock stick. Nice and smooth. I've honestly been a little bit hesitant to carry it because I like it so much. I hold it in such high regard as a piece, and I've wanted to keep it pristine, essentially for the video here, which is taking me a little while to do. Alright, so hopefully you guys enjoyed taking a look at this video. Obviously I think very highly of his work. Hope to really grab another piece, but it's really going to come to kind of luck of the draw here with his output and his sales formats. So give him a follow, check it out. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.